Hey guys, Kev here, and I'm going to do a disassembly and first impressions of the Renegade Provisions Co. Gungnir, aka the Ka-ting. If I would have named this knife, that's what I would have called it. Ka-ting. Anyway, sorry. So you might be able to tell that the camera seems to be a little higher up, so I have the desktop thing pretty much as high as it can go without being above my head. I can kind of see this is a big ass knife, and I want to show it in all its glory. So hopefully you'll be able to see the disassembly part just fine. So real quick, I guess with first impressions, I am just blown away by this thing. When I originally got it, you've seen the unboxing most likely. I was excited, but I was thinking, it's probably going to be too big for me. And, I picked one up because I've heard great things about Chris, the guy behind Renegade, and I love Reassembly made knives and all that stuff, right? But just since the unboxing, I have fallen head over heels for this thing, way more than I thought I would. I thought I would more or less enjoy it out of, like, professional courtesy, sort of. Like, knowing it's a solid design, it's going to be a solid build by Reassembly, all that stuff, right? But I'm just not a guy that enjoys a 4¼ inch blade, right? But I love this thing. I've just been playing with it every chance I get. It drops down like a freaking guillotine. I mean, this is the epitome of that word. You have to stop it. Like, you don't want it to fall. You're not trying to get it to fall. You're trying to stop it from falling, right? It has this ridiculous hollow grind on it. I mean, I don't know if you can see this, but it's just literally stupid. Like I've said in the unboxing, other than the Evo 2.0 right here, which also has a ridiculously stupid hollow grind, I haven't seen one this thin. The Slim Pickens had a very thin one. God, I think this is thinner. It is. This is thinner than the Evo, and that could be because this is a taller blade, right? So you have more room to cut out, I guess. But it is thinner. It's a deeper hollow than the Evo, which is ridiculous, right? One other thing I wanted to show is action. So I was just showing you how this thing just drops, right? The closest things I have to that are the Evo right here. Drops to my nail, bang, right? I'm still breaking in the bearings on that one. The Liang Ma Field Duty. Love this thing. Drop. This one is it drops shut, but it's more of a glide, right? I think I need to clean this guy out anyway, but still, it's dropping, right? The Chavez 229. Again, very smooth, but it's not like guillotining shut. This is probably the closest thing I have. The CKF T15. Notice all these knives have been made by Reassembly or manufactured by Reassembly, whatever you want to say. And this thing also drops, but it's still not as drop shut as Gungnir. I've never seen a knife that does this. My haptic maybe does it, but on a much smaller blade, it just seems different. This is just ridiculous. So there's that. Now for size comparison, I'll take these knives out again. Here's that Evo 2.0. It basically dwarfs the Evo, which is kind of redonkulous if you think about it. I'll kind of keep that one in the middle there. The Field Duty, again, I showed this in the unboxing, is the closest thing in terms of size that I have that's a real knife. I'm not counting the Evatac here. And it's, it is just, Jesus, Kev, it's substantially bigger. In the unboxing, I kind of was like, it's almost the same, but now that I have them down on the mat, it's a good, 1/4 inch longer. And then when we open them up, you'll see how much bigger it is. And then here is the Chavez. I'll pull out the Evo for a second. Again, 3.6 inches on this blade. It's just, and this is 3.75. It just is a monster. I mean, it's not like totally overpowering these guys, but it's friggin' huge. And I'm loving every second of how big it is right now. It's just so cool. So there you go. Good look at it. It's a monster. That, to me, was big, right? And then I got this. Now, it's not mine, but I got this in, right? Let's take a look at the Evo real quick. By the way, these are all Riot manufactured pieces of art. All of them. And I'm counting the Gungnir. I'm calling this the king of knives right now. It's just a monster. And on top of being a monster, it's fucking good. It's really good. Which helps a lot, right? So one other knife I want to pull out, because I have it right now, is a loaner from my brother Kyle. The Sean O'Connell Knives LB-XL. Now, this is a big boy knife. Okay? Let's see how it compares to Gungnir. There you go. These are identical in size. The Gungnir, I mean, it might be on a slight angle here, but I'm looking at them overhead myself, and they are butt to butt, tip to tip. These are identical in size. That is ridiculous, because when I handle this, I feel like I'm holding a troll knife. Like, I feel like I'm holding some knife that I would never carry, I would never own, and I do feel that way. I would never buy this, never own this, never carry this. I have it here to just review and send back to Kyle, basically, right? Because it's cool. And for him, he loves it, so he's going to love the Gungnir. Now, let's look at it closed. Oh, it even tings on the way down, baby. So here it is, closed. Again, pretty much identical. The Sean O'Connell might have it just a touch in the scale here, this bottom little tip. Again, angle and everything. It is neck and neck, except for that little tip there at the end. Just ridiculous, right? Now, key features, or key difference. Width. Look at that. Look how thin this thing is. It disappears in your pocket, guys. I've absolutely enjoyed carrying this today. I just took it on a long walk, and I had no issue at all. I'm going to bring a bug out here so you can get an idea here. It's not going to be bug out thin, but look at it. It's not like blowing the bug out of the water, right, in terms of thickness. I want to get this across for you guys. Here's a paramilitary 3, para 3. There you go. Look at that. I mean, this thing is para 3 width. I mean, that's incredible for this monstrosity, right? It's just so cool. So anyway, I hope I got that part across. Just some close-up look at everything. Here's the clip. This is the 3D milled clip. You do have a wire clip option. This knife is available right now for pre-order. Check out the website. It'll be linked below. Now, there is a little bit of a poke here at the end of the clip. That is being rounded off, so that is being taken care of in production. Any T6 screws you see right now will be changed to T8 screws. This fuller right here will be a full pass-through, and it will be, instead of 4 millimeters tall, it's going to be 6 millimeters tall. So it's going to be a little bit taller, which is nice. So you can get a little better of a grip if you have a fat sausage finger. I was talking in the unboxing about extending it down here, and Chris told me that he thought about that, but due to the structurability, is that a word? Due to keeping it from having any issues with, having the blade crack or anything, with the full cutout, he kept it to this size, so I can respect that. What else? There's your lanyard slot right there for you dopes. You got your titanium backspacer. You can see the titanium scales. Black micarta here. It comes in green, natural, I believe, and this black. And then you have the wire clip or the 3D milled clip. Sadly, it is not a reversible clip. He looked into that for us. It just didn't work out. So I personally carried this today in my front left pocket, no issue. I reached past it a few times and no issue. I don't know what the hell it is. It's some Harry Potter shit, guys. I was joking around with him today about it. It's like the purses in Harry Potter where, like, they just keep grabbing shit and pulling shit out. Like they're pulling, like, beds out of purses. Like, that's how this thing feels. It goes in your pocket and it just turns into a bug out. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's unexplainable. The flick is fantastic. The D10 is absolutely dialed for that flick. If I do my pressure test, pressure, bang, flies out every time. The D10 on the flipper is good. It is solid. It is maybe, sorry, that was me. It is maybe the slightest bit not strong enough, but I talked to Chris, and they are going to strengthen the D10 just a smidgen on the production model, which is basically what I said in the unboxing that would make it perfect. So, you know, and don't worry, because you'd think maybe adding a little bit of D10 is going to hurt the flick, but you're going to have a taller cutout, a full cutout, and a little bit of something to give you a little more grip there. He's adding, so it's going to be perfect, guys. I cannot wait for this thing to come out. Jimping up here is fantastic. You'll see that it's about halfway down the blade, third of the way down the blade. Really cool. You can get a really good grip up here, and then you can ride that jimping and use that blade. If you have small enough fingers, you can get your finger into this sharpening choil. He told me it wasn't meant to be a finger choil, but it works, and he had some requests from people with smaller hands to round this off a little bit so that it'll be more of a choil, and it will be rounded off a little bit in production. So personally, when I have a choil like this, I will pull back on the flipper. So I'll do this, and that way I'm away from that edge, but I still have that choil control, right? Now, Chris Renegade personally said he doesn't use the choil, so he's not a choil guy on this knife anyway. So he's going to be gripping it like this, right? You can also grip down here. You have options, right? I just think it's awesome, and yeah. So let's break into the bad boy. Got my coconut LaCroix here. So if you were just here for the first impressions, you're good to go. I'll try to do that from now on so you guys don't get stuck with my ass for 40 minutes waiting for first impressions, right? So I do have T8, T6, again, production model, all T8. Don't worry about T6, but this is a prototype. I got my KPL, I got my heavy here, and my original, of course. Microfiber tip johns if I need them, and I have a little bit of Loctite. I don't know if I'll use that just because it's not my knife. It's a prototype. I may test out Gillians in it just to see if they'll fit. I don't think I'll leave them in there, but I wanted to see if they would fit, and that is what we need. All right, so let's get into this bad boy. Oh, another difference on the production model is right now this is a spinning pivot. It will be a captive pivot. At least I'm 90% sure he told me that. So you'll see there, it looks like somebody may have used a little Loctite, so maybe I will. I think it needs it because it's such a big knife banging around. Oh, so these are T8s, so hang on here. All right, let me focus. Just to be careful, right? We don't want to make any mistakes on this guy here. I'm very grateful that Chris Renegade EC allowed me to take this apart. That's not something every knife designer or person who loans you a knife is going to do. All right, so it looks like I got to take the scale off first. So that's how a Riot construction works a lot of times. And then you have these down here. And these tend to be T6s. But again, he said they're going to be switched to T8s. So that is awesome. Very, very smart on your part, Chris, if you're watching this. If you guys don't know, Chris actually, I believe I'm right about this, is left-handed. Along with a lot of the really cool people in the knife community, he is left-handed. Like Jake from Bearded Gear is left-handed. I'm left-handed, of course, and I'm the coolest guy. There's a bunch of other people I can't recall. Oh, Israel from Arcane Design. There's a lot of guys that are left-handed. What's his name? Darren Costa? It's not Darren. Why can't I remember his freaking name? Anyway, he's from Aloni Knives. He's left-handed, but he makes only right-handed knives, really. Alright, so let's pop this pivot out. I'm not going to take it all the way apart like a maniac. I'm not going to take this scale and the clip off. There's no reason for that. I'll check them for tightness when I'm done here. Here's your lock bar. Nice bolster lock here. Fantastic for a lefty. That's one of the things I love about my field duty. And that's one of the things I love about the Gungnir. It gives you perfect access as a lefty. Other than the fact that the lock is right-handed, it basically functions flawlessly for a lefty. And I'm so used to righty locks, it doesn't even matter at this point, right? It's pretty clean in here. I believe somebody else recently took it apart, so we're good. These are solid slabs of titanium. That's interesting. I think I expected a little bit of milling, but maybe because they're so thin, they're not thick, right? So actually, no, I wouldn't expect milling because of the liners, or the inserts here, sorry. Because of the micarta inlay, Jesus, Kev. See how thick that is? And then you have this thin piece of titanium here. There's really nothing to mill out. If they started milling, they would... I guess you could put holes in here, but then your structure is going to be, your rigidity is going to be fucked, right? So I kind of get it. I'm trying to remember which side I took that pivot out of. I think it was this side, so let me just clean that up. Usually your pivot, well, no, I don't know. I don't think it really matters on this knife, to be honest, because it's a spinning one. It's interesting that it's not fully tightened in there. I don't know what's going on there, but it could be because it seats in there. Let me get one of these bad boys. As usual, knifepivotlube.com for any of these things that you need here, the heavy and the original. These guys right here to clean out these little areas. I like to use them for areas like this. You'll see in a second. Yeah, look at that. I mean, this thing is dirty in there, right? And then I just kind of dab it on something to clean it off, and then I'll get the other one. Is this necessary to keep your knife clean like this? No, you don't really need to get the schmutz out of these areas, but I do it because I'm a little bit OCD about it, I guess. Now, in terms of these steel washers right here, you can see they are the correct way because the track is right there. I'm not going to take them out because I have no reason to. There's nothing, I don't see why I would take them out. So I'm just going to get this guy in here a little bit. See, then I like to use the back of this to push the cloth through the pivot there. Just try to clean that up a little bit. Alright, perfect. You can see there's some schmutz in there. The usual knife stuff here, guys. I'm sure you guys all do this stuff on the regs. See that washer's coming out a little bit. Try to keep it right in place, just why not? Alright, now we can get to the blade. Give you guys a close-up of this beast in a second. 4 1/4 inch blade with a 4-inch cutting edge. I mean, goddamn, guys, this is basically a knife on its own. You know, like holy shit, right? Just incredible. I just love it. The man just, I don't know who in their right fucking mind says, hey man, I need to make a 9-inch fucking knife with a 4 1/4 inch blade. He's a fucking maniac. But he might also be a genius, you know, because I don't see that many knives this big out there that are this fucking good. So, you know? It's one of those beautiful mind situations, right? Yeah, see, it does sit in there perfectly the way it is, so that's why it wasn't fully tightened down or whatever they did. All right, so real quick, Gillians. These are 1/4-inch bearings, but they look a little bit bigger than the normal ones, so let's take a look. Yeah, they're a little larger than the Gillians, I think. Sorry, it's really hard to do this for you guys. They're pretty much the same. Thickness, they seem a little bit thinner than Gillians. That's where Gillians, excuse me, come in handy a lot, is to give you that rigidity. But you could tell right here, pop that on. Pop that on, it fits right in. This guy will fit right in there. It moves in there. There's even a little bit of room. So you could easily pop in Gillians. Do I want to just show you that it works? I guess I could do that. Let's make sure it actually works, right? Just tighten one of these guys down. Not going crazy here. The pivot screw in. I want to make sure I tighten it because I don't want it to bang off the side or something, even though I'm just testing it, right? So, yeah, see, we don't have it tight enough. There we go. Pretty much, doesn't need to be perfect for this. Okay, so maybe I went too tight. Yeah, it seems they would work just fine. Yeah, there's no play or anything. Yeah, they just need to break in, wear a path, and all that good stuff. And I didn't really assemble this, but you can tell they would work. So I just kind of wanted to give you an idea there. If I put the whole thing together and tuned it and all that good stuff, it'd be fine. But I don't want to go through all that with you guys, because this is a prototype, right? We don't want to be putting different bearings in prototypes if somebody else is going to review it. So those are the Gillians. Okay, back to this. These bearings, I'll clean them up as well. Tell me, guys, in the comments, if you will, let me know if you're going to pick one of these up on pre-order, if you already have and you're just kind of watching to reassure yourself of your purchase while you wait, because I totally get that. I do the same thing. If you're not going to get one, is it because you just like small knives, or, it's made overseas, or, not your style, price range? Just tell me what it is, because I'm sure Chris would love to get some feedback on that and see what he can try to do in the future. And then also, if you are into big knives, like, tell me a big knife that you think is equal to this, if there is one, because I can't think of one. Now, I'm not a big knife guy normally, so I'm not the best guy for that, but I'd love to know some comparable knives, because I love this thing, and that makes me want to try different stuff, right? This knife is enormous. I think I'm going to go with heavy on the bearings as well. I'm just going to go real light with the KPL and just go heavy. Because it's such a big blade, I want that KPL to stay in place. Okay, we have the bearings with the ass end to them. So you know my rule, if it has that open ass, you put it facing the counterbore. So this cutout is not very deep, right? The cutout for the bearings is really on the blade. So I want that ass end in the blade cutout, so that way you don't get any debris inside of there, right? Makes sense. Again, just slight drippy drops here of some heavy. We do have the detemp all track, so I'm going to put a little drop in there. And we're going to pop this bad boy on. It is an internal stop pin, which is fantastic. That is my favorite type of stop pin because they can be an absolute bitch when you're trying to put your knife back together. I'll put a little dot on here too just to be safe. Again, ass end is going to face the blade because that's where the pocket is. Keeps it safe. And for anybody watching who's looking to put aftermarket bearings, you can see here there's a little bit of room in here. So these are 1/4 inch 1/16 bearings. And the bearings are probably going to be what is it, 0.0625 tallness, whatever that is. There's a little room in that pocket, so you might be able to fit like an older style skiff in there or something. Just keep that in mind. We got everything else together here, so we're just going to pop this on. Again, guys, Reassembly is my favorite in terms of reconstructing a knife because you just get such fantastic reassembly. It's like stacking a burger. It really is. You just put the parts back together on top of each other and they pretty much stay together, and then you just have to put the screws in to make sure it stays that way. It just makes life so much easier, to be honest. Let me make sure I hit my spots here. Doesn't feel right. Okay, there we go. Let me get this guy. A little bit of resistance here, so I'm trying to be careful, right? Shit, see? I think that was popping into place. Yeah, okay. Told you it felt weird. That scared the shit out of me, dude. I honestly was like, oh fuck, I fucked it up. You'll see there, everything's back together. Whoop. Screw heads are fine. No worries. Woo, I can breathe. Okay. Put the pivot back on. So, let's see. Tighten that down. Not tight all the way. Now she's tight. Alright, we're acting pretty normal here, so let's get this guy on. T8s. So you'll see I'm twisting counterclockwise. I'm trying to find the thread. And there we go. You don't want to just be driving it in the whole time. A lot of times I go this way to try to make sure the thread pops in correctly because it just doesn't feel right or whatever. And then I tighten until I feel a wall, really. So they're nice and tight on there. Centering, now that we have the scale on, is dead nuts. Flip it open, drop shut. Flip it open, drop shut. Think. Now that ting, it might go away with that KPL in there. It's just how it works sometimes. But I'm guessing it'll come back quick on this knife. Because of the hollow grind, it's more to do with that than the dry bearings. So there we go. Now I'm going to drop a little bit of Loctite in there. And for this, since it's not my knife, when I say a little bit, I'm going to try to actually use a little bit. And I don't actually use Loctite. I use Permatex. If anybody's curious, it's basically like Loctite Blue. But it's more of a gel type thing, so it's a little easier to break, but it's kind of got a rubbery consistence. It's hard to explain it. I think it works a lot better, and you have less risk of getting your like pivot locked up with it and having to get in there with like heat and stuff, you know. Let me get that out of there. There we go, just a little bit. It's a big knife, so thread that biatch in. Feels like a knife I can just tighten up, right? Feel for play. No play. Can I tighten it anymore without any resistance? A little bit. Feels like a rock. Guys, this thing is just ridiculous. Just to be safe, I'm going to take this guy over here, since it's a spinning pivot on this proto, and just give it a little tighten. Yeah, there wasn't much there. I just want to see if it gets to a point where, okay, there's nothing. It's a rock and it's still drop shut. Okay, so there's no like point of where the action gets to like kind of drop shut. It's just always drop shut. Yeah, I got it kind of gliding though. It's not necessarily dropping like it was before. It will in short time, I'm sure, as that KPL and everything breaks in there. So don't you worry. But yeah, guys, that is the Renegade Provisions Co. Gungnir. That is the disassembly of it. That was very simple. It is a Riot knife. Like I said, let me just check that centering. So it does look like it's off, right? See that? Looks like it's off to the show side, but the tip is dead center. So I think it's more a matter of, I don't know what, the lock pressing against this or something is making it where it's not even like right here. But I always try to focus on the very tip, and you can see that bitch is dead center. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how I would get it any better. I mean, I tightened it, so I don't want to. Let's see if I loosen it a little bit. Yeah, that just makes it move over more, so you want it to be even tighter, if anything. So anyway, that tip looks pretty much dead center. That's at least how it was when I got it, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, there we go. We got a little shake needed all of a sudden. Come on, baby. Work with me. So that could be because I put the heavy in there. It could be because I over-tightened the pivot too. Yeah, that's going to break in very nicely. Okay, perfect. Got it. All right, I'm done. I'm going to let this sit, let that Loctite cure, and we'll be good to go. Renegade Provisions Co. Gungnir, baby. First impressions, disassembly. I appreciate you guys watching. Go pick one up if you get a chance. Full review coming your way in a couple days, and then I'll send this off to my brother Kyle. So, love you guys. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later. All right, real quick, I just want to do a cut test, show you guys this. Now, this thing has been used, this specific prototype has been used to cut barbecue multiple times, tons of cardboard, all types of shit. People have been telling me they cut with it when they had it. I just threw it on my strop like 5 times back and forth on the green compound and then the leather, and it's just ridiculous. So obviously with a fresh edge on there, it's going to be fantastic. But I'm just saying, even after going through multiple people's hands and multiple people's tests and whatnot, this thing is shredding this paper, no problem. This hollow grind is just ridiculous. redonkulous. It's just really, really good. You can see there. So anyway, I just wanted to show that off real quick. Gungnir out.